everybody, it's the coach.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts. Here's the punter, Rigoberto Sanchez, on to get us started. And in front of a raucous crowd, this one is underway. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Leading him out is going to be their quarterback. That's the grizzled vet, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
One thing that I think Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't get enough credit for is his toughness. This is a guy who plays through injuries, but it's also being mentally tough. Knowing that everyone's always trying to move him out of the lineup, trying to find a replacement for him, yet he continues to battle and has earned the total respect of his teammates.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Drake. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And now a look at the defense for the Colts.
Justin Houston is truly one of the elite pass rushers in the league. Knows how to get to the quarterback with a variety of moves.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. Chester Rogers deep for Indianapolis. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Luck, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll fake it. Now Luck. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That one goes for 24 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm. And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 30-yard line. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive lineman still.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 14-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Here's Luck to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
So they went for two and failed. They didn't use him on the PAT, but now he boots this one away with a 6-0 lead. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Miami's offense takes the field again. You think about their 2019 season, it might be the rare overachieving 5-11 label that you give them. You know, you look at it, everybody...
How do you overachieve at 5-11?
Because look at what they were dealing with, and then they kind of cleared the cupboard, but ended up getting 5 wins, including the one that kept New England from getting a first-round bye in Week 17.
I like the case you just made. You brought me over to the other side on that. Actually, I was just busting your chops. I'm absolutely with you on that. That is an overachieving 5-11 team. If you looked at that roster at the beginning of the season and even throughout and said to yourself, where are the wins coming from? You might have gotten a 3 if you stretched it. I give Brian Flores and his staff a ton of credit for continuing to compete, and now I'm eager to see what they do with the number 5 pick in the NFL draft. Is it going to be a quarterback? Because Ryan Fitzpatrick did it again with Fitzmagic down the stretch beating New England. Do you bring in a guy that you can groom and let Fitzpatrick continue to be your QB?
Well, to the point about quarterbacks, and they were 27th in offense, but actually they threw the ball okay. They finished 12th in passing.
Devontae Parker, a breakout season at wide receiver.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Well, as they come out here to set up shop for this next drive, let's talk about the NFC Championship game coming up. San Francisco hosting Green Bay. It was the road teams winning in the wild card round, Seattle, Minnesota, but the home teams bounced back in the divisional round. 49ers beating the Vikings and the Pack beating Seattle and Lambeau, so sets up a great NFC Championship game.
And a rematch of their regular season meeting that San Francisco dominated. Don't think Green Bay has forgotten that one. They have not traveled well to the West Coast this season.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Naeem Hines, 78 yards. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and the lead now stands at 13. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Well, Charles, as this offense comes out here, let's talk about the AFC Championship game coming up. Kansas City hosting Tennessee. The Chiefs, the winner over the Texans in the divisional round. But even before they took the field, they got a surprise gift on Saturday night with those Titans winning in Baltimore to set up the unexpected matchup.
But sometimes a gift isn't exactly a gift because they went from thinking they had to chase around Lamar Jackson to having to fortify themselves against Derrick Henry and the 250 pounds of man coming out and running the football. That run defense that got better as the season went on, it will get severely tested in this one.
Give them 14 on that one and a first down. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike.
On play action, Fitzpatrick. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down. Well, CD, with the end of the season comes the announcement of the All-Pro team, and everybody was like, wait a second, Christian McCaffrey's listed twice. Is that a mistake? No, he got it both at running back and flex. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive, because I think a lot of people thought that if you have a running back and a flex position, that maybe Christian McCaffrey would go into the flex because he catches the ball so well. And you would go ahead and elevate the big guy out of Tennessee, Derrick Henry, to the All-Pro running back. Henry ends up being a second-team guy, but McCaffrey deserves being first-team running back as well as first-team flex. He had a tremendous, spectacular year.
And as you might imagine, Baltimore leads the way. 5 players named to the All-Pro selection. Of course, leading the way for them, the quarterback Lamar Jackson.
Yes, and rightly so. And I fully expect him to be named the MVP when we get to NFL honors right before the Super Bowl. He's going to sweep all of those, and he deserves it. Carried that team throughout the season and got better in their bigger games.
As Indianapolis gets ready for this next drive, Charles, I want to get your thoughts on where they move after this season, because they were contenders much of the year. Remember, they were 5-2 and then eventually finished 7-9, but it looked like for a moment the AFC South was going to be theirs. What happened to this team, and where do they go?
Well, they had a bunch of injuries down the stretch, and you have to remember, going all the way back, this was a team that had to make the big adjustment at quarterback when Andrew Luck decided to retire right before the season. Jacoby Brissett became the starter, played fairly well, had a couple of injuries himself. The general manager at the end of the year did say the jury is still out on Jacoby Brissett, but they like him and they like his potential. The one good thing they've got going for them, if they can get a couple guys healthy, they've got a heck of a team coming back next year, led by their All-Pro offensive guard, Quentin Nelson, the APM, automated people mover.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Luck's throw finding T.Y. Hilton complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, 35 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. When they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Running, it's Drake. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy. You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Come get some. Come get some.
On 1st and 10, Locke. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. It got his man complete. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. On the delay, here's Hines. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 39, Luck looking deep for Hilton. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, Luck. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's Fitzpatrick looking for his running back, and he's got him. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw is Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Now a draw play with Drake. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. There to stop him was Darius Leonard. From the 36, Fitzpatrick. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So now after the sack, 3rd and long, and Fitzpatrick and company a little work to do. 3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. And he's going to go down again. The sack by Marcus Hunt. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So we reach halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Play action, it's Locke. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage. Back to the air. Luck on second down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Raekwon McMillan leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Luck. And the catch made by Hilton. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Fitzpatrick. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danico Autry able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Andrew Luck and the rest of the Colts offense ready to take over. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
That's what he's done here in this one so far. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. To throw on 2nd and 10. Luck, and he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. But now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Luck. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
It's complete. Stills. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal for Fitzpatrick. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. From the gun, here's Love. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Luck defers to Mack. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that. And he takes it in for a Colts score. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And nothing special there. They showed they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Vinatieri now for the point after. And the lead is now 24. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result was a Marlon Mack touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick, complete. This is Albert Wilson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Margus Hunt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing Fitzpatrick, and that is incomplete. Darius Leonard, the linebacker, able to break that one up. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. The big Tank Carradine with a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old rig.
And Luck is going to run out of time and out of luck as well. It's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play.
Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Throwing now, Luck. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Luck. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Back to throw, Luck. Now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And to be frank, Charles, probably not too many people surprised at how this one turned out.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, they're such a good football team. They were